Hi everybody, this is Suzanne Hiron of Mamie Papyrus. This week's card features the beautiful collection Beauty of the Earth. Let's get started. This week's card is using the Beauty of Friendship stamp set and this beautiful coordinating designer series paper, as well as the beautiful trees dies. Let's get started. So, as you know, on the designer series paper, if you look on the back of your package, you'll find the coordinating colors. So this week I picked two different colors maybe than the ones that we can expect for trees. I picked the Merry Merlot and the Misty Moonlight. So let's start with the Merry Merlot. This card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So that's my card base, and don't worry about the measurements, they will all be on my blog page. Then the next layer is this Misty Moonlight. So we're going to just adhere this. I think I'm out of snail. I'm going to use some bit of this Stampin' Seal Plus. That's a very, very strong adhesive. And as you can see, there's the Misty Moonlight, the Merry Merlot in this part of the designer series paper. It's hard to pick. All the designs are so beautiful on this paper that it's hard to pick one. So here's our card base. We'll do the same thing for the inside with the Misty Moonlight. You can also use the multi-purpose glue for this. So let's put that aside for a bit and work on our stamping. So I used, this is going to be a Thinking of You card and a Hope You Feel Better Soon. So I'm taking this from Punch Party, which was a Celebration Host set a few months ago. And Hope You Feel Better Soon. Here we go. I'm going to use a block and my Misty Moonlight. Stamp this a little bit to the right because I want to stamp a tree on the inside of my card. I don't want the entire tree, but I just want a piece of it. So I'm just going to put a piece of scrap paper underneath, use a bit of soft suede, and line up my tree on the side right here. There's that part, and I want a little bit of foliage and cinnamon cider, which is another color that I picked up from the designer series paper and that we'll have on the front of our card. And again, I just want a little bit off to the side. And there's our tree on the inside greeting. And to finish it off, I'm going to take a piece, just a little layer of about 1/2 inch, and I'm going to adhere this to the inside of my card. So now we've got the inside. The get well soon cards aren't cards that we necessarily like to make, and we might need them kind of last minute, so it's good to have them on hand. Now for the top of my card, I'll bring it back here so you can see, I've got a layer of the Merry Merlot. That I'm going to put on the back right here. I already cut out my tree trunk and the branches that I'm going to bring in here. And for this, I am going to use some multi-purpose glue. And I'm going to use my silicone mat that keeps my space from being too messy. And it cleans up really nicely. Nothing sticks to it. And I'm going to apply just a little bit of glue to the thicker pieces of the branch. And position it over the Merry Merlot so you can see a little bit of the color through the branches. Right here. And we don't want the branches to go too far out. But even if they go over the layer, that's fine. And the last piece I want here is my cinnamon cider cutout of the leaves. So through the cinnamon cider, you can see the branches and you can see the Merry Merlot. And for this, I'm going to bring in my mini dimensionals that I had just a minute ago. Got them. And I'm going to apply them. Use my take your pick tool and just position them where there's a bit more room on the back of my die cut leaves. So it'll give it just a little bit more dimension on the tree. So all these off and position it. Like it can go higher than the branches and it can go out a bit. It doesn't need to be very precise. So here's my tree. Now all that's left is my greeting for the front, and I cut out with one of the dies. I cut that out already, and I have thinking of you that I'm going to stamp in cinnamon cider. So lining it up here. And this too is going to be adhered with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to bring two of the bigger ones here. And I'm going to just position it over my tree trunk right here. And last but not least, I've got one of these cute little birds. And again, I'm going to bring in a mini dimensional on the bird's little belly. And I guess right here, we'll have our little bird. So there's your card. Thinking of you. Hope you feel better really soon. Hope you enjoyed this card. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.